Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we are going to talk about Xcode. In the previous video, we created a new project in Xcode for an iOS app. In this video, we are going to go through Xcode. So we'll go through your project navigator, which is this guy here, and then how you can filter your files and stuff. Then we'll go through the toolbar, which is up here. Then the inspector window, what all these things means. These all not be related to us right now, but we'll talk about them one by one. Then the previewer here, and then this is your output window where you see all your debug output, and this is your debug window. So when you have a breakpoint and then you want to see different variables and related information to your debugging. So let's get started. So let's first talk about your navigation window. So navigation window, as the name suggests, it helps you navigate. So let's say you are in your file. We are also going to talk about keyboard shortcuts. So if you are in this file and you want to point to that file in your navigator, you can press Command Shift J and it will take you to that file. There is another keyboard shortcut that I want you to introduce to you is Command Shift O, which open a search. So if you have a big project and you want to navigate to different files, then you can use that keyboard shortcut. It's Command Shift O. You can use the default keyboard shortcuts, or you can press Command comma and you go to key bindings and then you search for a specific key binding, and then you can customize it here so that you don't have to remember the ones which are default, and you can set them your own key bindings. Now let's come down to the project navigator here, which says filter. So as the name suggests, so I can type content and it will show me the files with the file names content, or the folders with the folder which has a name content. The other thing is this timer icon, which show you the recent items like which you have visited recently. There are different items here in your navigation window. So the next one is your source control. If we had a Git repository, it would have shown us our Git changes here, but we don't yet have, but we will talk about this once we talk about how to source control your project. And then next is your project hierarchy. So you can have like a hierarchical view or a flat view. Currently there is flat, so they are both same. Then you have the search, which you will probably use most of the time. So if you directly want to go to search, you can press Command Shift F, so it directly goes to your search. And then you can search by your text, reference, definitions, regular expression, or call hierarchy. You can scope your search to a project. For example, if you have multiple projects in your navigation, then you can choose which project you want to search. Then this is your errors and warnings. Next is your tests. We don't have any tests, so there's nothing here. This is the debug session when we will be running the app. It will show us our memory footprint and stuff. This is the breakpoint window where you can see all your breakpoints. And this is your build. So you can see different builds that you have done with the app. And you can choose by group if you have multiple apps or multiple projects, or you can choose by time, like when was the recent one and then this was the last one. The cloud is the Xcode cloud. We are not going to talk about that today, but just want to show you. So Xcode cloud, if you are building your project using Xcode cloud. So that's your navigation window. And then let's talk about the toolbar here. So we have the sidebar button, which can help you to hide and show this one. This is your run app. This is the name of your app. This is the scheme that's currently being used. This is the simulator that's currently being used. Any warning and errors you will see here. This is the library button that you can use, and this is the right sidebar hide and show button. So let's click this guy, hide and show. and the keyboard shortcut for this is Command 0, so you can use that. Then I can choose run, so it will run the app as the name says. So I ran the app, so this is the app running, and you can see there are some debug infos here in the debug window. So the next one is library, so let's click library. These are different tabs here. So the first one is controls, so you can see different controls in Swift UI which are available. So this is a really good place to get to know a different controls which are available, because if you are new you might not know that there is a control that's available that you can use. So let's color picker, date picker, disclosure group. You have edit button, so you don't have to handle your edit mode in your list and everything automatically by yourself, and it does this automatically. You have gauge, and the best part of this is that it has sample code, so you can just copy paste and play around very quickly. Just copy the code and paste it in your view. Let's try this one here, gauge view. Let's put it here, and I'm going to replace this whole thing, and let's see if it works. It's working. So this is my gauge here. So it's saying the current value is 67, minimum is 0, maximum is 170. So I can see that it's filled up here. So library is pretty good. The keyboard shortcut to open the library is Command Shift L. Again, you can customize it, but I am used to the default one. So there are different controls here. I would suggest you go through them one by one, get yourself familiar with all these things. The next one we have is the view modifiers, what we call them. So view modifiers are like which modifies your views. So we'll go in detail about view modifier, but I want you to just go through them and just have a feel of the code and see what are these different things. So you don't need to understand them, just have a look at them. Next we have is code snippets. Code snippets is also a good place to have a look. Let's say you want to check for an API availability, so it gives you a good example how to check whether a specific API is available in a specific version of OS. Then you can implement that API and then implement a fallback statement. This is really useful tool, I would say, because in Swift UI world there are things which are available in the latest version of your iOS, let's say iOS 16, but they are not available in iOS 15. So you can use stuff from iOS 16 and then you can implement a fallback statement for iOS 15. So this is useful if you are planning to code ahead, and once your app is minimum target, let's say 16, and then you can just get rid of the fallback statements and you already have the code that's written for iOS 16. This is a place you see all your media that is in your app, your colors. So currently we only have accent color, so which is being shown here, and these are all SF symbols. So SF symbols are being used in your app. We were using one, let's go back, so which was globe. So let's say globe, so you can see it is here. So this is your library. So that's your library, and then let's come to your inspector. So we can show and hide the inspector here. So the inspector shows the details of the currently selected file. So you can see that it's being changed as I move around the file. It shows, okay, what's the name of the file type, where it is. I can go directly locate the file here, or if I want to go directly to the file, so I can press that button and you can see that file in your Finder. Next we have is the debug area. So you can see all output, debugger output, target output. So the output is just from this one target. So I can filter, I can say, info, or if I have any specific debugging information in the code, so I can filter by that only. Next we have is our debug window. So let's run the app. So as we run the app, So this is the debug information that we get. Okay, what's the memory being used, how much disk is being used, any network, no network is being used. So it's really helpful to see, how much memory your app is being used, and then you go into the detail of your memory. You can profile your memory and see if there are any leaks and stuff. So we are not going to go into detail. It's just a highlight of where you can see your memory related stuff. This is pretty much I wanted to cover in this video about Xcode, so that you have the idea of what is your navigation bar, how you filter your files in the navigation bar, what are these different tools up top here, and then what is this information, and where you see your output, if you have any debug output from your code, your debug window. There was nothing to see because we didn't have any breakpoints, but if we had any breakpoints we would have seen stuff here. That's it guys, thanks for watching, see you in the next video.